get into it, just get ready for this weekend and headed down to Northeastern, Fort Smith. I guess all the road trips are new for you at Northwest, but Fort Smith's obviously a new road trip for everybody. So just talk about kind of getting ready for this weekend. Two good opponents, obviously, with what they did this past weekend.
Yeah, obviously we're able to go back-to-back and upset, the team that's been the best team in our league all year and the best team in the country for most of the year this year. So, everyone gets our attention no matter what, but certainly a couple things that'll pop out and be like, wow, they're playing really well. So, stealing from Coach T, talked to him this week and trying to find hey, what's the best way, but we're going to practice at Northwest for as long as we can, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here this week, and then head down and take on Northeastern and Fort Smith, and that's the plan.
Injury update on the sling there?
Yeah, banged up in practice. I think he set a screen. I know it wasn't playing defense.
It was playing.
No, that's fake.
It was playing defense.
I was going to say playing defense or setting a screen.
Just giving Patty a hard time. Certainly a little bit of a precautionary deal here with Patty. We'll get in. Campus shut down this morning, so haven't had a chance to really evaluate it deeply there. So we'll get in and see Christy here following this, and then probably know a little bit more.
Patty, we've talked about with kind of the games this past week, taking obviously Southern right down to the wire, and then having that wild game with Pitt. Just what you take away from playing two good teams and playing both teams tough this past week?
I'd say, especially from the Pitt game, we never gave up. Especially they were hitting almost every shot. It wasn't. We had some defensive breakdowns, but I thought we played well enough to force a contested shot, but they were just making them, and that's easy that early in the game to just kind of give up, but we didn't, and we fought back, actually took the lead. So I was really proud of, the whole team, coaching staff, everybody, for how we handled that. Then Moso was a tough one. Obviously, I thought we played well enough to win that one, but not everything in life is fair, so just got to keep working at it.
The versatility that you guys have kind of shown the last few weeks, Patty, just how important is that, especially you and Marcus kind of being the wings? Sometimes you're going to be out there with 2 point guards. Sometimes it's 3 bigs and you guys are handling it more. Just how important has that been, kind of finding everybody's spots, kind of depending on who's in the game around you, and how talk about adjusting to that?
I think everybody's done a good job of knowing, especially the guards, if they're the only guard out there, they know their role, or if there's 2 guards out there, then they know their role. But I think everybody's played enough basketball to where you can kind of look around and realize what you need to do more of with this lineup and what you need to do less of with another.
Patty, it's unique in that we have asked all the guards on the floor, to help us create shots. Maybe different than styles past. Hey, Patty, if we throw it to you and you don't shoot it, drive it, and get comfortable with putting the ball on the floor and scoring at multiple levels. And I think that's something that Patty may not even realize, but he has progressed at a bunch through the year. Whether he's able to back cut someone and get a layup, multiple times. With Spencer being out, I would argue that Patty has become our best cutter. Which is an important role, as silly as it sounds, or 2 dribbles. And I think I told him I think it was in practice the other day, it might have been in the game, where he made my favorite move of this season for him. And I think he just jabbed baseline and took 2 dribbles to the front of the rim and raised up and shot a jump hook. And did you make it? Made it. I couldn't even remember it. The point wasn't that, but it was just where he got comfortable on, as the year has gone on more things that we're asking him to do, aside from just, catch and shoot it, which I think is a strength of him. And that's probably true of multiple guys on our team, whether it's Marcus or Patty or different guys, let's expand, some things that we're asking you to do. And a couple of those guys are freshmen, and so there's some growing pains that have gone along with that, but certainly starting to see those things pay off.
Patty, you've been to Tahlequah before, obviously, last year, but new trip this weekend to Fort Smith. Are you kind of excited to see a new gym in the conference and all that comes with the first road trip to Arkansas, Fort Smith?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember last year just being really excited. Even I was redshirting last year. I just wanted to see the different atmospheres that the other colleges had, their arenas. We've seen, watching film of other teams, we've seen Fort Smith's gym. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like an arena from what I can tell, so that'll be fun.
Patty, kind of going back to a previous question, how much of a challenge has it been to, it's no secret that you're one of the most, flamboyant players on the floor. You're climatic. When you're not shooting it well, you can see that on the floor. When you're shooting it really well, you're celebrating. Right? How hard is it to keep that positive mindset at all times? Because we go back to it. You never know when you're going to be the guy that's open because you're playing at such a speed that we're talking about 4 guards got to be ready to shoot at all times, right? So talk about that, the mindset you got to have at all times, and the challenge it's been, and the work that you put into that during the season to know that there might be that time when you need to take that shot that you just got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I'd say I've gotten a lot better as the season's gone over. There were moments during the season where I would have a little slump here and there for a couple of days, and it really messed with me. But I think I've matured and realized that it's the next shot mentality, and the coaches have really helped me with that, called me out on it. And it's just I've put in Lord knows how many shots throughout high school and college, so it's like trusting what I do every day. And once you do that, it's really not difficult. And the thing about the playing with energy and letting that side show, I think that helps me play more intensely than the person guarding me or who I'm guarding. Helps me stay engaged, I think. Just helps me be in the moment, so that helps.
Several things I love about Patty. One is he cares a lot, and 2 is he works hard, which is a great recipe, right? Especially for a young guy that, is fighting for minutes and trying to help us win as a group. I'd always rather prefer my personality is guys that I have to calm down than try to amp up. And as we know, Patty fits that box in that way. So part of the conversation with Patty is some of the greatest shooters have some of the shortest memories, and that's where Patty has to grow because he expects to make every single shot. That's the level he holds himself to. It'd be like playing baseball and expecting to go, 3 for 4 every day, and it's a frustrating way when that doesn't happen. And so he's got to have just a little bit shorter memory on the ones he misses, and maybe a longer memory on the ones he makes. One of my favorite guys to ever coach was like that. And was not as good a shooter as Patty, but the game would end, and hey, Connor pretty good today, 4 for 9. He's like, I missed 5. He had no idea that he had missed 5 times in that way, and was sure that the next one he was going to catch and make, and that just comes with playing longer and not being so tough on yourself, and Patty's certainly working on that.